How many of us have a never-ending to-do list? A list of things that never get shorter and all these little things nagging us in the back of our head. Yet somehow we can never seem to get them done. I remember one of my friends telling me something extremely profound. He said, if you have to get something done, you can either do it yourself or you can cause it to get done. I thought there was something really profound about that, because later I learned about things like virtual assistants, TaskRabbit, other services that you could actually hire someone to do things for you, and it all sort of crystallized for me what my original friend had said. What he was saying was, if something has to get done, you can do it yourself, or you can cause it to get done, and you can do that in a variety of ways. You can hire other people, you can enlist their help. There's a million ways to cause something to get done. I thought to myself, yes, this could possibly be the end of my never-ending to-do list. In other words, now that I have this framework, I can actually cause these little things to get done. So I want to give you an example. It's relatively obvious that you can pay someone to do certain things for you. For example, if you want someone to pick up a package and take it to the post office because you just have not been able to do it, you can do that. There are plenty of services, virtual assistant services, etc., that will do that for you. But what if you don't want to pay someone? What are the other options? Here's another one. I remember when BJ Fogg used to run lab meetings at the Persuasive Technology Lab. And it would come to the end of the meeting and he would say, okay, Ramit, what's your action item for this week? And I would say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And he would say, can you commit to that? Of course, I'm sitting in front of all the other lab members. What am I going to say? I said, yes. And next week I would come back and we would check in. And he would say, okay, last week you mentioned you were going to do this. What happened? And you'd be really embarrassed if you didn't get it done. So what was going on there? He was not paying us, and yet he was causing things to get done. It shows you that public commitment can be a very powerful compliance strategy. Here's another example. Let's say you have to mow the lawn, but you really hate mowing the lawn, or you're really busy this week, whatever it may be. What if you go to your roommate and you say, hey, I'll trade you. I'll do the dishes if you do the lawn. Again, it has to get done, but it doesn't necessarily need to involve you. By the way, one thing I learned is sometimes if it's not getting done month after month, just drop it. There are emails that I hadn't responded to in 6 months. Every day I'd go in there, they're staring me in the eye. And I finally realized, you know what? This is not going to happen. And I just archived them. We all have things that have been sitting around in our lives, boxes that are sitting in our room, things that need to be thrown out or cleaned. We are just not getting around to it. Sometimes it's better to acknowledge this is not getting done and just clear that detritus right from our head. So, what can we learn from this principle? The principle is top performers have a sense of momentum. They don't get stuck by little tactical to-dos, whereas other people get overwhelmed by them. Oh no, I have a to-do list of 17 things. How am I going to do it? Chances are you can't do it all yourself. And second, you can outsource it. You can enlist help. You can barter or trade to have these things get done. Again, you can do something yourself or you can cause it to get done. So this framework helped me think very multidimensionally about getting through life and getting through tasks. Some tasks need to get done. Some tasks don't need to get done at all. But for those that do need to be done, you can either do it yourself or you can cause them to happen through other ways. I'm going to give you 4 techniques to show you how to cause things to get done, whether you do them or you have someone else do them for you. The first is accountability. For many of us, we just need someone to check in on us. For that, I have programs on accountability, or you can set a calendar reminder, or you can have your best friend give you a call and check in. One thing I talk about when it comes to saving money on meals is you can have an accountability buddy, right? Beforehand, you both decide, hey, we're trying to lose weight or we're trying to save money. Let's not order an appetizer, or let's not order that second drink. And if you notice someone's getting tempted, you kind of just make eye contact. Hey, I see you. The second technique is negative consequences, and you can use these strategically. Let's say you're at Thanksgiving dinner with your whole family. You want to lose 10 pounds by Christmas. You can sit there at dinner and say, you know what? I'm going to lose 10 pounds by December 25th, or I'm going to give each of you $50. A lot of people take the route of making anti-bets and having to give these bets to charity. So for example, I might say, if I don't write 1,000 words a day, I will donate to the charity I hate the most. Very interesting strategy that also proves to be very effective. I personally make a lot of bets with friends. So I'll say, I bet you I can do this, or I'm doing a pull-up contest with another friend. So that gets me to cause things to get done. For me, that is doing more pull-ups when I'm working out. All right? That bet has proved to be extremely effective. The third strategy is to pay someone to make you do it. Now, there are an emerging number of services where you can pay someone like $1 a day or even less, and they'll just call you up and say, "Are you focused?" You may have heard about a guy who went around the internet. It was a huge viral sensation. He hired someone to slap him in the face if he was ever off track, if he was messing around on Facebook. That was actually my little brother. All right? That thing went worldwide viral. But that was a very effective compliance strategy for him. I probably wouldn't do that, but it worked amazingly well for him. And the fourth or highest level would be to pay someone to do it for you. There's no shame in this whatsoever. There are certain things that we could easily pay for, and it would make our lives dramatically easier. So why don't we? I'll argue that a lot of us feel guilty that we should be able to do it, and yet we don't. I should be able to take those 5 boxes that are sitting right there, 2 feet away from me in my bedroom, get them packaged up and take them to the post office. But I don't. I should be able to clean my bathroom and my entire apartment every 2 weeks. But I don't. I should be able to iron my clothes. I know how to iron clothes, but I'm too tired after I come home from work. These are things that sit in the back of our mind, and there's a cost to every single one. You walk home, you see those boxes, you see this not clean apartment, you see these clothes that are not ironed, and you say, all these things I have to do. I should be able to do them. Whereas for all those things, you could pay less than $50 and they would be done. I actually tested this with a lot of my students. I talked about the power of paying for value. And a lot of them went out and they did it. They said, "Yeah, I can't believe it. I've had something I've been meaning to do for 2 years, and I just paid someone $20 and it was out of my mind. Done." It feels great. So I do this extensively, right? I know how to value my time, and I know sometimes there are things I just need to get done, but I'm not going to do it. Sometimes it's not even about time. I just don't want to do it. So it's much more time effective for me to pay someone, for example, to deliver my groceries than for me to go pick it up. It just makes a lot of sense, okay? It's even more effective, not just from a time perspective, but I know I'm not going to cook for myself. Sorry, Mom, but I know I want home cooked food. So I found someone who actually cooks for me. Now that's a bit unusual, and I actually felt guilty too. I'm like, I should be able to cook. I have a lot of friends who are chefs. I have this book, all these books, and yet it wasn't happening. So I paid someone to do it for me. So you can start off simple. There are simple things you can do and websites where you can hire someone to come and pick up something for you, $5 or $10. And just test it. See if it works for you. Now I'm going to give you an action step today. I want you to identify 3 things that you have been meaning to do for a long time, over a month, and you have not been able to do it. Could be that you don't have enough time, you just don't want to do it, whatever the case. I want you to apply the techniques you have learned here today to cause it to get done. Could be that you barter with someone else to do it. Could be that you solicit them for their public compliance like BJ Fogg. Could be that you pay someone to do it for you, like having someone come and pick up a bunch of boxes to ship them. Whatever it takes, I want you to cause those things to get done in the next 7 days. 3 things, 7 days. I'll be looking forward to seeing how it goes.